Hello?
Hello, is this Owen?
Yes, it is.
Owen, how you doing? Paul, Outsider Tackle Box radio show and podcast. Thanks for calling us back. We do appreciate you having time for us this morning. The idea behind the show is to spread happiness to the world through the joys of fishing. And you sent in a good-looking photo. That's a nice bass. We want to hear where you caught that fish, what type of bait you were using, and anything else you
Okay.
want to say about that photo.
Oh, by the way, Owen, I'm here too.
Oh, and I forgot to introduce my co-host, and that is Tommy.
How's it going, Owen? See, I just
Well,
waited for him to finish before. Okay, go for it, Owen.
Yeah, that's my fault. I do it all
Okay.
the time. We're just regular guys,
Yeah.
and we forget stuff. And so
Yeah.
he's sitting right next
Well,
to me.
Go for
Yeah.
it, bud.
Well, I just got done watching your live show, so
Ah,
Oh,
but
thanks
anyway,
for
so
tuning in.
yeah, you're welcome. So that fish was there's a local reservoir. We do a lot of irrigation where I live, and there's a local reservoir, and I go out there every once in a while, and there's kind of a drainage ditch where the water exits out from the reservoir,
mm-hmm.
and they stock it every once in a while. And usually you can catch 4 or 5 bass where it exits out. And I had actually just recently got one of your boxes, and I was using one of your small swim bait. It was gray and black on a
Okay.
4-aught swim bait hook.
Okay.
And it usually takes about 3 or 4 casts, and usually you can get a couple bites right off the bat. Usually you're competing with a lot of the Asian carp because there's really thick in there, and so you're bumping across them and all. But usually you can catch a couple pounders and stuff, and I hooked into that one, and those swim baits were really working that day. I caught
Were,
I
were,
think 6 or 7.
were those the cool baits?
I believe so. I can't remember exactly what they
Oh, okay.
were,
About 4
but
inches or so,
but they
right?
had, yeah,
Yep.
4 inches, and they had ribbing.
Yep, the cool baits.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
cool,
baits.
cool.
Yeah, we like
Okay.
that one. That catches quite a bit of fish, not just
Yeah.
bass, but it's a multiple
It's a multiple
species. We
species.
see a lot of people sending photos with cool
Yep.
baits.
I just wanted to know so this way I could have a visual image of what you were fishing with. But yeah, no, definitely. Okay, cool. Keep it going.
And thanks for subscribing
Okay.
to our box. We love having people who are actually members of the group through our subscription.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
please continue to do that. But let's get back to your story and hear about that fish.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so anyway, it's about, I don't know, 6 or 7 miles from my house, and I take my quad out there,
Cool.
and I drive out there from my house, and it's fun. It's pretty good bass fishing, and you can, you get a couple bites, and it was just fun to, I like using your guys' boxes because you get things that you've never even heard of, like the wave
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
baits and all the baits that you send me. I'm like, wow, I've never heard of these before.
Awesome.
And then, but this particular reservoir is really good for catching, like 6 to 8 pound bass, and they really like the small swim baits. And that particular swim bait was really good for catching a lot of fish as well as big fish. So
Nice. I love it. See,
Yeah.
and like Paul was saying before, I mean, I love it when an actual subscriber is on the Facebook group and is enjoying the boxes and basically putting them to use.
Yeah.
And like you said,
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting things that you wouldn't normally get. You're getting things that you wouldn't find normally in a store. You're getting it delivered to you, and you're just like, hey, I've never heard of this company. I'm gonna try this out,
Right.
and
We have a lot of local artisans that want to get in the supplier game, and then so we often, as long as you contact us and say, um, I want to get my bait in your box. I've been making it at home, and so if they don't have packaging, we help them out. We can repackage, and we kind of help them.
Help 'em out.
And because we always test it to make sure it's quality product, and then
Right.
the ones who make it in the box, they catch fish, and
Yeah.
so that's the idea. And we love hearing about people who are actually using it. So thank you again.
Owen, I'm glad that was
Yeah.
working for you. I'm glad you were killing it there at that reservoir there with those baits.
Please continue to send in photos. We'd love to have you back on the show. You did great. I felt like I was there with you in the story. I actually pictured myself on a quad, and that's a good story when you could picture yourself in it. And so I had myself on the quad headed down to the lake. So we want to have you back anytime. Send in a photo, share it. We're gonna put it up on our social media platforms. We'll post it in your where we shared it previously. We'll post the audio, and then we'll post the YouTube, and then you could share it with your buddies. Little bragging rights to say, hey, I was on a radio show and podcast. You weren't, and so that's always fun. And so from all of us here at Outsider Tackle Box, have a great who knew that was a hard word? Rest of your day, and tight lines.
Thank you. You guys too.
Take care, bud.
All right, thanks. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
I'm happy he called back. That's always a good thing.